McWhorter Custom Rifles presents.
Welcome back, folks. This week I'm taking my 7.65 PRC down to deep South Texas to hunt with our friends the Scoggins family at the famous Novillos Ranch. We got a buck we've watched grow up down there for 5 years. He's 8.5 years old now. His time has come. You don't want to miss this.
Precision Hunting TV is brought to you by McWhorter Custom Rifles, Zeiss Hunting, Forge Carbon Stocks, Hornady Ammunition, Atlas Development Group, and Great Horizon Ranch.
So one of our favorite destinations for the last 17 years has been the Novias Ranch in famed South Texas. It's a big free-range place, a whole lot of big deer, intensively managed by Mr. Jackie Scoggins, and it's always been a pleasure to go down there and hunt these big deer and help Mr. Jackie with his management plan. It's always a good time. Seth and I get to meet up with our good friend Lamar Smith. The camp time together is just great. It's very good to get down there, all get together, always towards the end of the season and hunt these big deer and shoot these management bucks.
So Allan has finally rolled into camp, and you're ready to hunt a big old buck, huh? I
am ready to hunt a big old buck.
So tell me about this gun. What are you shooting this week?
This is one of my favorite calibers after having done this 18 years. This is a 6.5 PRC necked up to 7. It's a 7.65 PRC. We've done it for 3 or 4 years. We call it our 7S PRC, but now our partners at ADG Brass have started head stamping the brass and making brass standardized for this. So it is about the ballistic equivalent to a 7 rim mag, but in short action, and it does pretty much the same ballistic profile with about 8 or 9 grains less powder. So it's going to have less recoil and a longer barrel life.
So I really like this Zeiss V8NA, the new 2.8 to 20 by 56. So I know you were instrumental in helping design this thing. Tell me about it.
We met with them about 1.5 years ago, and we told them what we wanted as far as a reticle and turret design, and they hit it out of the park. This scope really is the best scope that I've ever hunted with. I got it on all my rifles now. We hadn't even had them but about 6 months, and I immediately changed all mine out. The light transmission, the edge-to-edge clarity, the illumination, the digital illumination, it's just masterful. I've never shot during the daytime with illumination before, but the digital illumination in this one and the easy adjust on it, I shoot during the daytime, and it helps my focus when I'm shooting.
That little fiber optic dot is precise.
Absolutely.
We're going to start at 300. That sound good?
Sure.
Then we got a deer silhouette at 5, another deer silhouette at 7. So what do you think?
All right. Got a pretty windy day, but let's see what we'll do. It was on before I left, so it should still be on.
All right. Let's get after it.
All right. I think we were good. We were perfect out to about 700, so I'm ready to roll. We'll go find that big 7x7. So this year, my target buck down there was a buck that we had kind of been watching for about 5 years. He was a big 6x6. Last year, I think he might have had a stick or two. We actually saw him. He was probably in that 160 class, but this year, because of the feeding program and the food plots, this deer had blossomed in at an old age to a 7x7 that was over 170 inches. So this 8.5-year-old buck was somewhat of a legend on this ranch. He was kind of a loner, and Mr. Jackie and his cowboys knew exactly, where he liked to hang out. The scouting was spot on, and the first day we thought we were going to be right on top of this deer. All right, we're ready for my first day in South Texas, down here at the Novillos Ranch, and Seth's been down here blasting everything for a couple of days now. What did you get to hear about a month ago?
No, just a couple days ago.
So we saw a real big buck last year. That's our target buck. He was a big 6x6 last year, and now he's grown a couple extra points,
Yeah.
and they have seen him once or twice. So Russell and I are headed after him this morning, and so you ready to go?
Yeah, well, good luck to you.
All right, let's go. Good luck to you.
This segment is brought to you by Borden Accuracy, makers of the most accurate custom hunting actions on the market. Manufactured in the USA to true bench rest tolerances. Borden Accuracy equals success.
All right. Well, we're in the blind now, and we got the gator coming by to feed all these senderos. That's the dinner bell for these South Texas bucks. So hopefully this buck's not so old that he's gone completely deaf and can't hear that. So they've seen him a few times, so we're just hopeful that we'll get lucky like we did last year and kill him the first morning. That's what I vote for anyway. The cameraman and I are in the blind, and unfortunately the fog was just super thick. So as the light started to come up, we could see images, but that's about all we could tell. And 10 or 15 minutes after legal shooting light, we saw a huge bodied deer that we figured was him, but it was so foggy that we could not tell for sure. So we did not even think about shooting. He had a bunch of does with him. He was chasing them back and forth across the sendero. Every time the fog just lifted a little bit, then it rolled back in. Then it lifted a little bit, and it rolled back in. And I knew in my heart that this was the deer, but I certainly didn't want a mistake. So we had to wait for God to lift the fog before we could possibly shoot at this deer. The fog finally lifted to a point where we could tell details of deer that were still standing out in the sendero. 4 or 5 minutes later, this buck emerged out in the sendero at about 240 yards. His front leg was offset a little bit, so I had to shoot him in that back shoulder, but he won't be far in there. I feel like I made a good shot. Heavy fog set in here today, and it just killed us. I mean, we sit there, we knew it was him. We've been watching him for 45 minutes. And his does got nervous and they left, and he went with them, and then he came back and he crossed, and we thought he might be coming to this other sendero, but he just stepped out right there, and he was about 220, and I think I put a real good shot on him. Heard the bullet hit. He took off at the crack of the gun, so I think we got him. We'll go get him here, give him a 15, 20 minutes since he ran off, and we'll go get our buck. That's it, okay. All right, right there. I see a white belly. I see a white belly. Oh. Look at there. Look at that big old monarch. Well, This right here is the reason that you come to South Texas, and the reason I've been hunting South Texas most of my adult life. These dark antlers and these big multi-tine, long-tine, heavy, long beam deer just all year long, they're just in the back of your mind. They're just tickling your imagination. And we saw this deer last year, and Mr. Jackie wanted to give him another year, so he said, guess what, he even got bigger this year. Last year he was a 6x6. This year he's a typical 7x7, and he's got everything. He's got the dark antlers, he's got really good mass, long brow tines, long beams, long tines, and he's just a masterpiece of an animal. So 7.65 PRC, shooting 175 grain Hornady ELDX, just everything came together, and made a good shot on this deer, and he didn't go far. Just cannot get over the magnificence of these animals. I've killed a bunch of them in my lifetime. It just never gets old.
Precision Hunting TV is also brought to you by McWhorter True Precision Long Range Hunting and Shooting School, Leo Photo USA, Brux Barrels, Trigger Tech, Hawkins Precision, and Borden Accuracy.
So one thing about Mr. Jackie, he's a real gun guy. He's got a lot of our guns. He's a reloader, and he loves to pass this knowledge and ability down to his kids and his grandkids. So he's got some grandkids that shoot pretty well, but he wanted to get them a little advanced instruction. So he got Jake and Joaquin's girlfriend together with me one afternoon, and we had quite the time kind of showing them how to shoot long range. Jackie's got a really good range over on the part that he calls the feed yard, and we got over there with Jake and Joaquin and his girl, and had a blast teaching them a little bit about wind reading and the basic fundamentals of shooting, and they all shot very, very well, and it was a pleasure to help them out. Welcome back, folks. Today we're going to talk about how to properly shoot off a tripod. I've got my long-range shooting instructor, John, here, that teaches our True Precision long-range shooting and hunting course. He's going to go through this with you. These Leo photos are great. He's going to show you exactly how to take advantage of them.
Okay. When you're in the field, the first thing you want to do is when you come out to set up your tripod, when you open it up, you want one leg straight forward, the other legs two kicked off to the side. That makes sure you doesn't impede the recoil line.
It's going to just rock back.
Just moves back, right? If you had it set up in a different thing when you shot, it
wouldn't have anywhere to go.
It would buck the gun straight up, right? So rifles need free recoil to work. We use this Peak .0 stock. We got an integrated rail system right here on our MCR rifle. Come up to it with this Leo photo. It's just too easy. Just lock it in, lock it down. Easy to control, lock in. When I shoot from a tripod, one of the first things I like to do is I kind of kick it out with my feet, get everything steady, right? Get on steady ground. And then I reach up with my hand. A lot of people either reach up their hand here or grab here. My preference is grab here, and I use my thumb and pull my thumb up. When I pull my thumb up, it engages my forearm muscles, and I'm able to hold it a lot tighter.
Even off the tripod, he's still shooting center peck, so you can see his hits.
Center peck with it off the tripod. Still same grip, right? So you don't need to overly grip your gun. You don't need to wrap your thumb. Still keep your thumb behind the hammer or off to the side, right? That's all you got to do. All right. When you go to shoot, all right, get your level out. Make sure everything's level, steady. All right. Find your target. Make sure you're level. Pull the trigger.
There you go. Let's try one at 400, John.
Yeah, let's do it.
See what we can do. This is a sitting position. This would be very, very helpful in a soft blind where you don't have any restrictions on your floor plan there. Yep. So here we go. See what you can do. I watched
Dead
the plate
shot.
flap. Good shot, good shot. All right, so these things right here will literally make a 10-year-old a 500-yard shooter. So, and they'll make somebody like John a 1,000-yard shooter.
Absolutely.
And that's your True Precision Tip of the Week, brought to you by John and Allan in McWhorter Custom Rifles.
Precision Hunting TV is also brought to you by Armageddon Gear, Mesquite Creek Taxidermy, Hell's Canyon Barrels, Gun Foam, Boyd Harness Company, and Metal Spinning Targets. This segment is brought to you by Atlas Development Group, makers of the finest premium rifle cartridge cases on the market. Proudly made in the USA. Our stringent manufacturing process and raw materials yield superior results.
My big buck was down. I was elated. One of the perks of hunting at the Novias Ranch is Mr. Jackie always wants you to help out with herd management. And basically, any buck that was over 3 years old, that was under 10 points, targeting 7 and 8 pointers, basically, Mr. Jackie wanted them taken out of the herd. So I got my rifle, I got plenty of ammunition, and I went back to the blind. So day 2, Russell and I are headed back to the Sandhill blind. There's 3 verified culls over there, and we hope we see all of them, because I'm ready to shoot this morning. You ready to go?
I'm ready.
The next morning, we headed out to a stand they call the Sandhill blind, and me and the cameraman get up there, and you can see 4 different senderos, and they're from 400 or so, 450 down to right up next to the blind, so you're apt to get a pretty long shot. And fortunately, the dear God shined on me this morning, and I had management bucks coming out all over the place. And my 7.65 made short work of about 3 of them in a span of about an hour. Got him. Think we made a good shot. We just had to manage the fog and the javelina back behind him and everything. And when these deer feed into these senderos, they're just quartering away, quarter 2. You want to get them broadside. Got him pretty broadside, made a good shot. He didn't go down his tracks, but I'm sure he's not very far. That's a cull right there. Looks like a 3-year-old 7. Down in his tracks, man, give me 5. That 175 grain hornet, he just put it right on his shoulder. He 225 yards, he went down his track. So there's a bug right there. What's that? What's that? That's a big bodied sucker. Ooh, that's another cull, Russell. 225. Picture. Yeah, baby, down in his tracks. Whoo! Man, I love shooting culls, almost as much as shooting big bucks, but I love shooting culls. We have killed 3 culls this morning. We got 5 senderos, and we got dead deer in 3 of them, and this one probably ran 25, 30, 50 yards. Maybe we're gonna go find him in just a second, but. Well, here we go. We got another really good cull. This is a 4.5-year-old. He's a 9-pointer. I thought he was 8-pointer when I shot him, but Mr. Jackie said anything that's not 5/5, that's 4.5 years old or older is what he wants taken out. This is just not what he wants in his management plan. So another great time at the Novias Ranch, and I like shooting these culls. I've hunted a lot of places all over the country, hunted many places in South Texas. but I can honestly say now the Novias was my favorite spot to hunt. Not only the big bucks and the great management down there, but the good friends, Seth, Lamar, Darren, our cameraman, Russell, our cameraman, got real close to everybody down there, but Mr. Jackie Scoggins was just a great man and a great deer manager. And unfortunately, in January, after the hunt, I got the news that Mr. Jackie had passed away unexpectedly. Can't say enough about him. He was a great man, had done a lot of good things down there with his feed yard. He was a great deer manager. He was a true gun man, and he'll be sorely missed. We loved hunting the Novias. Rest in peace, my friend.